Got a quarter?
Due to the graphic nature of the following program, viewer discretion is advised.
Before we begin this session, it is my duty to address those of you who've been charged with a commission of offense concerning the effect of the pleas that you were told about at the time of your arraignment. By virtue of the fact that you are here, you have previously entered a plea of not guilty to the charge or charges against you. The effect of that plea or those pleas is to put into issue all the elements of the offense or offenses which you've been charged. That requires a trial to be held. Since you have pled not guilty, you have the following rights. You have the right to know and understand the charges against you. You have the right to a trial. You have the right to be represented by a lawyer that you've hired at all stages of these proceedings, even if you intend to enter a plea of guilty or no contest. You have the right to confront the witnesses and have those witnesses cross-examined by your lawyer. You have the right to have the court appoint a lawyer to represent you. If it's possible, if found guilty, you go to jail and you cannot afford to hire a lawyer for yourself. You have the right at trial to call witnesses in your own behalf and to compel reluctant witnesses to come forward through the use of the subpoena process. You have the right to be presumed innocent and require the prosecution to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right at trial to testify or not testify in your own behalf and have the prosecution, as well as the court, refrain from commenting on your decision to not testify, should that be your decision, on today's date, should you so choose. You may change your previously entered not guilty plea to one of the other plea alternatives. That is to say either guilty, no contest, or not guilty by reason of insanity. A guilty plea is a complete admission of your guilt, and it eliminates the need for us to have a trial. A no contest plea also eliminates the need for us to have a trial. However, it is not an admission of guilt, even though it is an admission of the truth of the facts contained in the complaint or the citation. The importance of a no contest plea is that it cannot be used against you in any future civil or criminal proceeding. A plea of not guilty by reason of insanity means you did not have the mental state of mind to commit the offense. That must be entered into by you or your lawyer to the court in writing. These rights belong to everyone who appears as a defendant before the court and will be protected by the court this morning. If you have a cell phone, please make sure your phone is turned off. If your phone makes a noise when turning it off, please step outside to do so. If your phone goes off and interrupts court, it will be taken, so please make sure your phone is off. The proceedings in this courtroom are recorded by video and audio recording, so if in fact you need to have a conversation, please step outside to do so. Again, if you need to have a conversation, please step outside to do so. So we won't pretend like we don't see that there's a TV camera in the room, right? So today we have visiting us TV 20, public access channel. The public has a right to view the courtroom, so they're going to be here today recording the proceedings. I'm not going to act any different than I always act, and I'm asking that you do the same, right? So I'm going to be the same Judge Earley that you always have when you come in front of me. I'm going to ask that you treat me with the same respect that I always treat you, even though the cameras are here, okay? All right. Thank you for your time and attention. We'll now proceed with court. Do you have a lawyer today?
No.
All right. And you know that you need one, right?
Oh, no, I didn't know I needed one, so I need one to today.
Did you have a drug test?
Yes.
And the drug test results were what?
Oh, I'm not sure. I didn't get a call back or anything. It should be negative. I didn't.
They were not. They were positive.
What?
Got a lot of positives today. Must be the positive docket, but yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And then my understanding is there's a new driving under the influence case in Bedford?
Yes. Fight that. I'll go back to court for that on the 9th of May.
So I need you to come back with a lawyer on April the 29th
Okay.
at 9 o'clock. If you have a
9
seat in the
o'clock.
hallway, they're going to give you a reminder slip.
Okay.
Have a good day, ma'am.
Thank you.
The city's moving to amend the case ending in 3485, drug abuse marijuana, to Municipal Code 605.03, minor misdemeanor, disorderly conduct.
Okay.
The city's moving to amend the case ending in 2914, the DUS, to Municipal Code 435.06, refusal to show driver's license.
Okay.
The city's also moving to amend the case ending in 6549 to 435.06.
That's fine. Thank you.
I'm sorry, which case?
The case ending in 6549,
Okay.
the no driver's license, the city's moving to amend that to 435.06 as well, unclassified misdemeanor. It's my understanding he's agreed to plead guilty to the disorderly conduct, the refusal to show driver's license on 2914, and the refusal to show driver's license on 6549. When his guilty pleas are forthcoming on those three cases, the city would move to nolly the balance of the traffic, and it's my understanding he wants to ask for a trial date for the DV case.
Okay. And it's, Counselor, is that your understanding of the plea agreement, that Mr. Williams will plead guilty to 2 counts of failure to display and 1 count of disorderly conduct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, is it your desire to plead guilty to those 3 charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that by changing your plea, you're giving up your right to go to trial. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're giving up your right to confront witnesses and have witnesses come in and testify in your behalf. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're giving up your right to have the prosecutor prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're giving up your right to remain silent for the limited purpose of pleading guilty. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand that by pleading guilty, I could make a finding of guilt, and I could sentence you on the 2 failure to displays, a fine of up to $1,000 as they're unclassified misdemeanors, and for the disorderly conduct, I can sentence you to a fine of up to $150. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Understanding all of your rights, how do you plead to those 3 charges?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Court will accept the guilty plea, make a finding of guilt, will dismiss or nolly the remaining charges in docket number 41 and 42, will dismiss or nolly all the charges for the record in docket number 38 and 39.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And then, does he have insurance?
He does, Your Honor. He showed me an SR-22 bond as well as his driver's license. This is the interim one. He'll get his hard license in the mail.
The court will give him credit for having insurance. Now that his license are valid, and counsel, he has a number of priors. We want to make sure that he keeps them valid, right?
Certainly, Your Honor. And it looks like he's done a good amount of work. My last tip sheet that I had, he had a $1,700 reinstatement fee with multiple warrant blocks.
Right, so he went to the amnesty program?
So he did
Which
a
is
good amount of work.
Yeah,
That's
worked
good.
out, yeah.
That's good. That's the purpose of that. So
Yeah.
you're actually somebody who took
helped me
advantage
out
of
a
that,
lot,
which is
yeah.
a big deal. So,
Yeah.
but now the expectation is, because what they've done is given you kind of a pass. So you owed all that money, they wiped it all clean. So the expectation now is that you don't dig yourself back into that hole, right?
I learned a
So that
lesson,
you keep
trust
your.
me. Yeah, I definitely
So,
learned it.
are you working?
Yeah.
Good. All right. Sentence of the court's the same for both of the failure to display, $200 fine plus costs. For the disorderly conduct, $50 fine. For the record, there is no cost associated with that case because it's the same case as docket number 41, same incident. And you only assess 1 court cost per incident.
Do you do any jail days?
Mm-hmm.
How many days do you do in jail?
A week.
Judge, can he have credit for 7 days, please?
Do we know that he did a week, or we just?
No, I went in Thursday.
So
and
was
they
he held on
released-
these cases? Because can we just have 7 days and judge is like, oh yeah, let's just get rid of all this costs? I have to have some basis for that. So was he held on these cases? Because it doesn't seem likely that I would put a bond on a traffic case. On the DV case, maybe.
Right,
but
it
not
might have been the
traffic
DV case.
So,
We'll
and if
hold the
and
days
and
credit.
And if he has the days, I'll give him credit for it. I'm not trying to cheat you out of your days, but if it just doesn't seem likely that I'd put a bond on a traffic case. I don't typically do
We
that.
can hold for the
Okay.
resolution of the other case.
All right, good. All right. Have a good day. Well, actually, nope, not yet. We need a trial date, right?
We need time to pay.
How about the 29th
Okay, that's fine, Your Honor.
at 11:30?
We're gonna bring you back.
So April 29th at 11:30 for trial. Okay?
All right, you're all set. Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
You too.
Good morning, Mr. Smith.
How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm a little shaken up this morning.
You should be.
I believe it.
You should be.
Could you give this to the judge, please?
For what?
We're here for sentencing on a domestic violence case that was amended to aggravated disorderly conduct.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Counselor, do you know when we pled to this case?
I do, Your Honor. It was on March 25th.
Uh-huh. Do you know what happened on April the 3rd?
I do, Your Honor. That we have stuff to discuss.
We have a new DUI case.
That's right. Judge, I did have the opportunity to review the probation report in this case. And the probation report's recommendations involve a fair amount of counseling. And I think it would be appropriate in this case for Mr. Smith to get the benefit of substance abuse counseling as well. I think stressors will push us to act in ways that are inconsistent with our character, and we see this a lot, Your Honor.
Listen, to everyone's life there comes sunshine and rain. Happens to all of us. That does not give anyone a pass to commit illegal offenses. It doesn't. Just doesn't. It's about choices. And when we get to a stressor place in our lives, our choices are what determines our character. He's not the only one who is stressed. He's not.
Agreed.
I agree, Your Honor.
But in the same sense, he's the only one sitting here about to be sentenced on a misdemeanor of the first degree and coming back to court with a driving under the influence case in the interim. This is not about stressors, this is about choices.
And I think
About
what
choices.
I mean, Your Honor, is choosing how to react when life doesn't go our way and when life gets difficult.
Right, but I mean, is he like 10 years old?
No,
like,
Your Honor. I think-
Unless this is the first time in his life where things have not gone his way, and if that is the case, Counselor, he's extremely lucky, right?
Right.
I mean, how many times a week do things not go our way? Probably
A
several
lot,
times a
several.
day, right? You know, you have to deal with those things. It's unrealistic to assume that everything will just play out like you want it to.
Sure. And I think,
And to me, I'm just being honest, it's just that's an excuse. You're making bad choices and it's not good.
I understand,
And you need to
Your Honor. understand
understand that. And I don't like for people to come to court and say to me, well, this is the reason why you're making these choices. So you have to deal with the consequences of those choices. My concern is, we have a case pending that we're dealing with. And I have a snapshot of what I'm supposed to be looking at to do sentencing, and then you bring this other stuff in. Every bad choice you make limits the options for the next choice. You understand that?
I'll never forget it. I never heard it like that, but I'll never forget what you just said.
Every bad choice you make limits your options for the next choice. So at the end of the day, your choices are based on the options you have. We don't have unlimited choices, right? No one has an unlimited number of choices. The choices are really based on the options you have in front of you. Every bad choice you make limits the options you have in front of you. Till you get to a place where the only choices you have, or the only options you have, are bad. Because this is just the road you're going down. You gotta do better. You gotta do better. You gotta do better. So we're gonna continue this for two reasons. One, I'm not happy, and I don't sentence when I'm not happy. Counselor, we're gonna take a step back. We talked about choices, but we're also gonna take a step back to where he has a right to defend these cases, and we will allow him to do that. So we're not gonna, there may be a need for counseling for the sentencing for the aggravated disorderly conduct case. But as the other case just happened, actually less than a week ago, we're going to come back and allow you to kind of have a discussion with him, a private discussion with,
Thank you.
which he has a right to do with you on that case. So we will come back. And since he has a lawyer, Counselor, it doesn't seem to be that we should be rushing. So can we come back on the 29th to give you some time to get the video,
That's fine.
to show him the video, and
take
kind of talk about where you want to go from here.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Now, Willowick wants him. Does he know why?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay, clean that up. They're going to have you have a seat. I don't know if they're going to pick you up today or not. If they don't, I need you to clean that up, okay? Whatever that
Yeah.
is. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I actually didn't look at it because I
It's-
was kind of caught up on this other case.
We're not-
But he needs to,
No, it's just a
Clean that
local
up.
ticket. Yeah.
bond's pretty high for a couple tickets. But. So on August 20th of 2014, you were sentenced on a driving under the influence, and I asked you to do a couple of things, and then no one ever saw you after that. Until somehow you get a ride to visit me via video. So where have you been?
I've been taking care of my daughter's children. Now they're residing with my niece.
So how did we get you into court? How did this meeting take place that we're having currently? How did we get you into court?
I have no
How are we here
idea.
together? You have no idea.
I stopped in the store to grab some cigarettes,
Uh-huh.
and that's all I did, and then I was being arrested.
Just like that.
That's what I said. I don't remember what the deal was when I came out of the store with the things, and then I was arrested.
So there were police when you came out of the store?
Yes.
Were they there for you?
I don't remember doing anything to have them there for me. I go in there all the time and stuff.
Do we need an assessment of something? Of
I don't
some
think
sort?
so, Your Honor. I didn't have the impression that there was anything wrong in this case. She did indicate to me that she had attempted sometime in the past 5 years to contact her probation officer, but the report's pretty clear that she didn't do anything, and I'm not even sure she reported for her first report date. If the court's inclined to allow her to try probation again after 5 years, we would ask that her probation be continued. Otherwise, she was arrested. Was it Monday night, Ms. Ziegler?
On the 7th.
On the 7th. So she just request those 4 days credit to satisfy the alternative to jail.
Do we know how many priors she has?
Prior DUIs?
Yes.
I did not see any. I saw a couple open containers that were amended to disorderly conduct, so she does have warrant blocks from this court on those.
She's got at least 3.
Right.
So this would be the 4th driving under the influence case.
I haven't drove under the influence.
Did somebody
I wasn't even driving, I was on foot.
I'm talking about the case that she has.
Right. I don't know that she's got that.
And on that case, she was almost 3 times the legal limit.
And you also took my Jimmy up in that case.
They took your what?
My vehicle.
It was required. The law requires that on the 3rd driving under the influence.
I
She had to
understand
forfeit the
that, but
vehicle.
I'm just saying as that case was, whatever.
Okay. Well, we'll
But I
just.
had attempted to get a hold of the probation. They never mailed me.
I feel like I'm putting her out, so we're just going to continue this,
That's
okay?
fine,
Because
Your
I
Honor.
don't want to, I don't want to seem like I'm bothering her with this whole probation thing. So I apologize. Let's just move to the next case, okay? So I'll continue this, and then maybe she'll think about it, and then we'll have a discussion about how this is not really anything to do with the court, and this is really her issue to take some ownership. But we'll just continue it so she'll have some opportunity to think about it, and then we'll come back and maybe we'll be a little bit more clear on what's happening here. Okay? Because for the record, I could have given her a year.
Right.
So being very flippant about my probation and its terms does not make me happy. And it's offensive because we're attempting to put things in place so that we can provide her with the tools that she needs to not be in these situations. And it's like we're putting her out. I mean, far be it for us to try to assist someone. So we're going to just continue it. You can step out. We apologize.
Continue date, Your Honor.
What does that mean?
The 24th.
Thank you.
We'll hear your case on the 24th. That's what that means. Okay? Have a good day.
I'm about to be evicted out of my house.
I'll see you on the 24th. And you were last in front of me on what date?
I believe it was October of 2018,
Okay.
at which point I believe you extended my probation to April 20th. I attempted to get into the class that starts tomorrow. They took the first 35 people, and they bumped me to the May 9th.
So you've been on probation to me since November of 2017.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And I asked you to do one thing,
Yes, Your Honor.
and you have not done it.
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor.
I don't get it.
It was a money
I don't get it.
situation, Your Honor. I didn't have the money for the class.
You pay off all your fines and costs?
Yes, Your Honor. I did that as soon as I could. I just didn't have the money for this. I apologize for that. I'm going to take that on May 9th, and then I'll be finished. I would just ask if the court could extend me 1 month.
Yeah, I just feel like you believe that this is not important because this is a 6 months period of probation where you had one condition, and we're 18 months in,
Yes, Your Honor.
and nothing. We've done nothing.
Yes, Your Honor.
God, I don't understand.
I can't explain it any better than I have attempted to, Your Honor.
I feel like you don't believe that there are consequences associated with this.
Oh, I do believe there's consequences associated with this. I very much so do.
Then then it baffles me why you wouldn't do what you're supposed to do. Especially when there was just one thing. It's not like I piled a bunch of things on top of you to say you have to do all of this stuff. You did one thing. One thing. That's it.
I understand, Your Honor.
So your probation is going to be extended until December 31st. The court's going to order a task assessment, and then you have to come back to court on May the 20th, 9 o'clock. If those two things are not complete on that day, I'm going to give you days in the county jail.
Okay, I understand, Your Honor.
So I'm not going to keep extending this for you. If you don't come back on May the 20th with this done, you'll indicate to me that you don't care about what the court ordered, and I will act
It will
accordingly.
be done May.
Okay. So
It will be done on the 12th of May, Your Honor.
Good. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you.
For a videotape copy of this episode, call 664-3571 with the following information on your TV screen.